Well, I think ag's such an exciting sector because, as we've talked about over the last couple of days, ag is the only sector that can actually solve three critical world issues. So we can grow more food to feed a growing population, we can emit less so we can manage climate, and we can repair nature by helping with biodiversity and natural capital. So what that's doing in agriculture is it means that there's some enormous opportunity because it's dragging investment into the sector. So we really feel that we want farmers and producers to be able to take advantage of those opportunities because transition is happening. So how we get to net zero, whether we should get to net zero and whether everybody needs to do something, it's happening around us. So let's not miss the opportunity to optimise both the economic possibilities for producers and also the sustainable environmental opportunities for producers. Look, this is where it gets really exciting because we know that we need to have products and services that actually incentivise producers to be able to invest in change of practice or farm management practice that creates good economic outcomes but also environmental outcomes. But we know that's not enough. We know that we actually need to support the ag sector more broadly. So we were absolutely thrilled to be able to announce our pilot with Ruminati. And the reason that we are moving forward with Ruminati in a pilot is because we need to start thinking about how we're going to support customers in transition and how we're going to enable them to take advantage of those opportunities. So we've just got to get started. So the way that we can get started is to help customers firstly understand where they are today. So let's actually help you calculate your baseline emissions because that's your starting point. Then whatever you do from this point forward, you're going to reap the benefit of that. Secondly, and probably more importantly, it's not just about knowing that number. It's about, well, now that I know it, what can I do with it? So how do I get a better economic outcome on farm? So how do I improve profitability, take cost out of the business? How do I improve productivity, get better yield or get better weight gain? So the Ruminati platform that we're piloting with our customers enables customers to scenario test what they might do on farm and model abatement options. Now farmers might choose to do nothing, but at least they're making an informed decision to do nothing, knowing that this is available. But it's a great start to help get farmers in a position where they can actually take advantage of the opportunities that transition is bringing. Those farmers that want to invest in practices that improve profitability, improve productivity and have a positive environmental outcome, that costs money. So we want to make sure that we've got the structures in place that incentivise farmers to think about that, particularly in an environment where every farmer is watching the weather, they're watching commodity prices, they're thinking about how much input costs are and what might happen with interest rates. So we've got to create an incentivised environment. So we're doing that through our Australian First Agri Green Loan, which provides a fantastic discount on lending for practices on farm which have a sustainable benefit. But importantly, those sustainable benefits usually also have an economic benefit. So we're seeing some great inquiries from customers that are doing things like moving to renewables, precision ag, particularly in horticulture, thinking about concrete feed pads and calving barns for dairy. All sorts of opportunities for farmers to participate. But it's not just about that CapEx. We want to develop new ways of financing. So we know that a lot of our customers are really interested in carbon. So how can we support them with that without tying up the family farm? So that family farm, the equity in that farm may be required to purchase another farm. It may be required to invest on farm. So how do we support the development of a carbon project? Well, we now have the ability to pre-finance carbon credits. So in WA, we've done our first transaction where we pre-financed future carbon credits to enable the development of a carbon project. And this is becoming a new form of finance. So lots of opportunities for farmers to participate. There's no doubt that the conversation has shifted. I used to say it's shifting. It has shifted. And by that I mean that we know that there's deep curiosity amongst farmers, but there's also a fair degree of confusion. So what we've seen over the last 2 years is people gaining a broader awareness of what's happening with supply chain and directionally where we're going. Everybody might have a different pathway through transition, but most people now have got a very good awareness of what we're doing, why we're doing it, and where we're heading to. So that's moving people to think about intent. So I'm moving from, I'm curious, I'm a little bit confused, to actually I think I might do something. And once I think I might do something, it's moving people to action. So, okay, now what will I do on my farm, something that makes sense? And that's where we can use these green financing options or sustainable financing options to help really incentivise that. But farmers are embracing the challenge. Farmers have always embraced the challenge. You know, farmers are there battling weather, battling commodity prices, battling a global marketplace, and so they're up for the challenge, and we're right there to support them.